Assalamualaikum dear students. I am your librarian Zishan Ahmed Sheikh and welcome to your online library class. Today our topic is literary genre fiction. In our previous classes we have learned what is genre and how to pronounce it, its meaning and where it's come from, types of genres, fiction and non-fiction, and knew about literature genre non-fiction. So going to start fiction part 1. There are different types of writing. In this part, you will learn about some styles of literature that you choose to read. You may already know that the things you read can be grouped into two categories: non-fiction and fiction. Non-fiction we have already discussed in our previous class. You can watch it again. It available in library GCR folder. Fiction word come from fictitious. Fictitious mean not real, not true. Made up in someone's mind, someone's imagination. It contains a made-up story, a story that did not actually happen in life. So these stories are derived from the imagination and creativity of the author and are not based on fact mostly. There are showing some pictures of fiction books. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yes, mostly students read this book in library. Oh, this is very famous book in our school and in your library, in our student and your friend. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Okay, so now we start its type. So first type is before we start first type, there are some types of realistic fiction, fantasy fiction, science fiction, which is also called sci-fi, tall tales, myths, mythology, fable, folk tales, fairy tales, mystery, historical fiction, drama, poetry, and these are more subtypes of fiction. So start our first type is realistic fiction. Realistic fiction is one of the most common type of fiction written. The story is made up and generally is a narrative form, but everything in the story could actually happen. So the realistic fiction, no flying human and lion or monkey horses, or no talking animals. What makes this type of fiction so popular is that it is easier for us to readers to imagine the story by putting ourselves into the plot. And realistic fiction has a story that is true to life and seems real, but is not actually real. Stories are often set in modern times and have characters who seems like real people. If you would like to read something from this type, there are I'm showing some examples of realistic fiction like Diary of a Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kennedy, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, Burn My Heart by Beverly Nadeau. Now an other type of fiction is fantasy fiction. Under this genre contains a story set in a fantasy world. Fantasy world means a world that is not real and often made up places, things, and beings that are not part of a real world. It also includes magic, magical creatures, and supernatural events. Fantasy fiction often has people, animals, and creatures that have magical powers. There are so many great examples of fantasy fiction stories. Many of these stories are made into movies, but book seems to always be better. These such as Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. Oh, it's a very famous. The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, and Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. It's a classic literature also in fantasy fiction. Now, there is science fiction, which is also called sci-fi. Science fiction typically deals with imaginative and futuristic concepts such as advanced science and technology, time travel, aliens life, machines, robots, etc. that hasn't been invented yet. There are some types of science fictions such as Frankenstein, 20,000 Leagues Under the World by Jules Verne, Pendragon series. Now, look this picture. What comes in your mind? What type of fiction I am going to discuss? Yes, right. Mystery fiction. And this fiction type has a suspenseful plot that often involves a mysterious crime. Suspects and motives are considered, and often main characters try to find clues and motives throughout the story, lead to a solution to the problem. It can also be about a missing item, or even who plan a surprise party. Mysteries are fun to read because as the story happens, you can gather your own clues and try to predict or discover who did what. Now there are some types of mystery fictions. There the most famous mystery fiction is Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, The Hardy Boys in NC0 series, Angel and Demons by Dan Brown. Now, historical fiction. It takes us way back in time to a real historical event. The writer construct the past. The story is set in the past, keeping the manners, social conditions, and other details of that period unchanged. The event from history itself is real, but most of the story, the people, and the small events are made up. An other an author who is writing historical fiction pieces may start with the true event and build a story around it. Here I am showing some examples of historical fiction from classic literature, like Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne, The Call of the Will by Jack London, and A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Now, today's last type of fiction is drama. Drama is made up story written to be performed on a stage. This is called a play. Dramas are stories composed in verse or prose, usually for theatrical performance, where conflicts and emotions are expressed through dialogues and actions. Dramas can be any of the type of fiction. We have already discussed one thing that makes drama different from other genres is that it includes directions for the actors and lots dialogues, words to be spoken. It looks very different from other type of writing. Take a look of some examples, such as a famous drama writer in English literature, William Shakespeare. Its famous drama Hamlet, J.K. Rowling series Harry Potter's, and newly she presented Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is actually a drama. Now it is time to say goodbye.